What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Clown blog, coming to you today talking about a very important topic. One of the questions that was asked that just blew my mind when the Soulja Boy video that is going viral right now started. One of the people on the panel asked him, "Why you got so many businesses?" And he was defending himself, and eventually said, "Why don't you have so many businesses? People out here on Section 8 struggling, people are in the hood struggling." And it was just very sad to see a young man who has an ideal. He's trying to transition. And let's be honest, music careers, sports careers, they're short term. I don't care what somebody tells you. There's not that many Deion Sanders out there. There are not that many people that have these 20, 30 long year careers playing the sport or even doing music. Sir Mix-a-Lot, he's a one-hit wonder. But from his one-hit wonder, because he owns the rights to his music, he made $100 million. So the problem, what I see with the Soulja Boy video, there's so many problems, and we're gonna break them down today. And I brought all kind of people to come on the panel. I got Manna tomorrow. He's an established businessman. He's out there. He's incognito. I got Charles Ogilvie, who started the Todd Capital Fund, which is really important to have him on. We have Andre Hackett, who's been a business owner for years. Charm City Buyers might stop in. One or two other people may stop in later in the show. Casino is the name. But this is important why we need to have this conversation, because this is why kids don't try new things. This is why all the kids want to be rappers and run track, right? Nobody wants to try new stuff. I know kids right now who do not have an athletic bone in their body, still trying to go out for sports because their parents are pushing them. And seeing this video, just every question they had, everything they said, just reconfirmed my worst fears about certain parts of communities. Yeah. So look, you know how the rules go. We try to fight Skynet here. So I want you to hit the like button. I want you to drop your city and state. And we're going to show that beautiful beam footage of the video I'm talking about. I see you guys already in here. What is up? Yep, that's right. They're going to put some respect on his name. Let me see. Man, we got California in here, Brooklyn in here, New York, DMV, lots of Baltimore, Maryland. Look at y'all up in here. California, more Maryland, more Baltimore, more DC, more Washington, D.C., New Orleans, Raleigh, North Carolina, West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome to Freedom Friday show. On Freedom Friday, we get crack. Okay, so again, I'm going to let each person on the panel introduce themselves, and then I'll try to show the video. I see you guys in here, Brooklyn, Arlington, Texas, Huntsville, Alabama, Los Angeles, Metro Detroit, Chicago. Man, y'all coming through. That's what I'm talking about. Come through. Okay. If you could, Manna, tomorrow, could you introduce yourself real quick for the audience? Because, I don't usually have you over here.
All right. Manna tomorrow, I have a couple federal contracts, and I own a transportation company. I do content on my channel now. And what I do is I talk about the enemies inside the house, not outside the house, because most of the things that we go through in society is based on the environments that we grew up in and that the family members that we hang around who really strip us of all our dreams. So that's what I got. Thanks so much for having me on.
For sure. And then could you introduce yourself, Charles Ogilvie?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. So I had to switch devices, but so I guess the professional career is I have a lot of degrees. I work as an in-house counsel finance associate for a private family office that manages around $200 million in assets and real estate projects. We do a lot of private lending. We do also a lot of single family home development. And my outside career is that I guess I'm a real estate investment club, stock investment club manager. We have over 330 members on the investment club side for stocks. We own about 6 properties, in the process of acquiring 2 more. And we did all that in 1 year on the real estate side, and just continue to scale. Also have the Todd Capital Millionaire podcast that has 88 episodes, actually close to like 89. Serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, stock market investor, all those different things, and just looking to expand Todd Capital into all that it can be and all that it's growing into in 2019.
Awesome. Andre Hatchett, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
What's up, audience? How's it going? Andre Hatchett. Yes, longtime business owner. been laughed at for many years. So when I was watching the Soulja Boy interview, it hit my friggin' soul because I'm 36 now. Entrepreneurship wasn't so trendy as it is, or common as it is now, especially in our community. So from early 20s to literally 33, a few years old, I was laughed at and mocked at. And I'm here, and I've been here fighting and still fighting to be free and to teach other people how to do the same. And here to give my 10 cents, not even 2 cents, 10 cents. Hey guys.
Man.
And I'm an investor with the Todd Capital Group as well.
All right.
We need a gang. We need a gang sign, like.
Gang.
So terrible. Okay. So listen, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Andow. I have never seen you on this channel before, but I want to thank you for the $19, almost $20 super chat. Like, he's already kicking off the show as the show sponsor. Yo, we got 100 people here. Listen, you know we're trying to fight Skynet on this side of the channel. Help me out. Hit the like button. There's 102. Hit the like button. Drop your city and state, because all this does is give us fuel to go find what city you're in, do live events, do meetups, bring Andre Hatchett. Let's go to Slutty Vegan. Let's go do stuff, right? This is how we get it done. This is how we connect. All right. You know, listen, we're 10Xing over here. All right. 10X. So look, I'm going to go ahead and put the video on, and then I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see the video for one. And if you can't hear, y'all need to put a 1 in the comments if you can hear it. If you can't, then I'm gonna need to figure out a way to get y'all to hear it. All right. So dang it, y'all are telling me in the comment section you can't hear it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio on the phone, but I want y'all saw the video, y'all saw the body language. Look at the body language of everybody I just showed you. So let me play it on my phone, because that's the only way y'all gonna hear it. But I need y'all to hear how they're talking to him. I need y'all to hear this. This don't make no sense to me. So hold on. I know this is ghetto. We're going to ghetto rig it today. We're going to make it do what it do.
White people in Microsoft, y'all little white people at PS4, embrace the black community. Academics, I can bring you on board, and you can even have a DJ Academics game. You Twitch your stream all day playing Fortnite and shit. Hold on, but I support the black community. It's not a scam. Every game on here is licensed. It's 800 P-Star games that are licensed. I sold $1 million, and one day Nintendo approached me. Why would they approach you? Academics? Why would they approach you? Because they're trying to see what the fuck going on. It's a young black kid that made $1 million within 24 hours, and our games are on the consoles. We want in. Why you name it on the box? Yo, it's the first prototype. It's to cut me some swag. Like, man, I'm a black entrepreneur. Listen, my nigga, I done made $1 million off this motherfucking console. Look, check this out. Look. Yo, why you so many businesses? You're right. And you say 7 orders. It says 7 orders. For 20,000. Hold on, let me show the camera. I gotta show the camera. I love it. Why so many businesses? Because I'm a fucking bonafide hustler. I'm trying to be a billionaire. Why don't you have that many businesses? Niggas in the hood is fucked up on Section 8. I came from the bottom of the bottom, nigga. Y'all love that.
Can y'all hear that? Please tell me y'all can hear that. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear it. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Help me out. I wanted to show y'all the video so you can see the damn body language, the aggression towards him, the disrespect towards him. It is look at her, like, look at how she's looking at him. Look at how all the men that are sitting around him are looking at him like he's an idiot. This kid is not an idiot. This kid just put money in a product from China, and in one day had $1 million launch, and they are laughing at him. Would they ever laugh at Robert Smith, who's a billionaire in tech? Would they ever laugh at Oprah? Would they ever laugh at some of the people you guys know if they came on their show? I was so hot when I saw this. I was like, the level of disrespect, even if And the game he brought, I've already read the reviews. I know black people are gonna be like, well, did you even read the reviews on it? I did. But here's the deal. Level of disrespect. It doesn't matter. If this kid needs a tune-up or needs this game to be brought to the next level or needs this prototype to be improved, he's licensed. These are licensed games. He just needs it to be improved. And if it was somebody, some kid, some little 12-year-old rapper come on there that was white, they'd be like, Little Dicky's over here. And he's gonna show us this game. They would be a total different avenue. And I'm not even, I don't even want to make it black or white as much as I want to make it as this is the problem. This is why young black kids don't go in sports and science, don't go outside of sports. This is why they don't go into science. This is why they don't tell their parents they're interested in engineering degrees, because people are going to laugh at them. They're going to mock them. This is a real thing happening in the African-American community. And I know we got a lot of white and Hispanic folks on this channel, and that's fine. Welcome to the channel. You can come in talking a little bit of the day, but at the end of the day, when people say, why do black kids not go to these particular classes or these particular schools, this is why. This attitude, this like, oh, you think you smart? You think you better than us? You think you have an ideal? Someone made a comment on Instagram and said, well, if he'd came on there and introduced vodka, how would they have acted? And I had to step back because I realized that's right. If he'd have introduced vodka, they'd have been like, woo woo, best thing ever. What's up? Party all day, turn up. They even had the nerve in this interview to ask him about more about music. And he's like, listen, I'm segueing to all these different other businesses. Y'all are crapping on me, yo. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let the panel get in on this. There's 150 of y'all here. Hit that like button. Help me out. Help your girl out. Drop your city and state. But you guys know, you guys see what I'm talking about here. There's so many levels to this that I want to get on. But you guys got to see what they're doing to him. If this is your young people, and if somebody young is watching this right now, a 16-year-old boy is watching this, what is his thoughts? Panel, anybody, go ahead. Man of tomorrow, anybody.
All right. I went through something similar like this when I first won my first Air Force contract on the same base that I was actually on and I had just got out with. And that interview with all those people who I used to be quote unquote stationed with, because they was moving from the actual Air Force cops to like private security. That's exactly how the interview went from the people with the Pentagon. The people with the Pentagon was beside themselves and was shocked that they would even say any of that. But at the end of the day, I still got the contract. And like, they was like, we know you probably still don't want the contract. I'm like, shit, $5 million contract. I still want that contract. And so this is the stuff that black people kind of go through whenever you're questioned by people and you're trying to move up a level. A lot of people want to treat you a certain kind of way. And while I didn't let it faze me at all, I just let them say their questions and I answered them all completely because I used to work there. So if I'm trying to go for a contract providing security for a place that I was stationed at for 2.5 years, why in the hell would the commander and former associates of mine try to take this tone with me? And this is exactly the type of tone that they took with me. And I still got the contract anyway. Can you guess what happened to those people's careers once I got that contract? They didn't have them. Neither one of them. But it's just that at the end of the day, you got to be able to follow your dreams through, and you have to get around people who's going to help your actual dreams grow. Because these people came in to not try to encourage this dude, not try to ask him what he was doing. They was just trying to like, why are you doing all this? I've never heard anybody ask anybody from Procter & Gamble, why do they own so many companies of different types? But somehow this guy can't even go follow his dreams. I think it's disgraceful. So that's all I got.
I'm gonna tap in right now. And it reminds me, anytime you get an entrepreneur on a platform that's filled with employees, there's always this clash. We've seen it with Dame Dash on Breakfast Club. We've seen it with Nick Cannon. We've seen it with Ray J. We've seen it with now Soulja Boy. And I think that it just speaks to the fact that like bosses have to hang with bosses, because as I listen to all these stories, each one of your stories is similar to my story. where I've shared ideas with people and they laughed. Not because it was a bad idea, not because it couldn't work, but because they don't talk boss. It's like Dame Dash says, he's like, bosses talk boss. And so if I'm discussing an idea with Andre, I know I'm going to get a lot more support and a lot more, I guess, understanding from Andre because he gets it and he's experienced what I've experienced. And so like a part of it is like, unfortunately, in the African-American community, we tend to only recognize jobs. We tend to only recognize opportunities if it's attached to a paycheck. And so when you start talking about non-paycheck opportunities, you're going to get pushed back. You're going to get laughed at. And what frustrated me about watching it is how convinced they were. And that's one thing that I've realized, like there's people who will give you an opinion on something they never experienced, and they'll be totally convicted and totally convinced that they're right. And I think that that's unfortunate because then you have a bunch of misinformation floating out there that thinks it's right. And in other communities, they have more business owners, so they have people that get it. They have people that understand. They have people that can talk boss talk. I never forget, I was working at Chase, and I used to work with a lot of immigrant business owners. And so there's this new business owner, and he was a new guy, young guy. He was starting to get into the business that the older guys were in. The older guys, they owned real estate, that they were leasing to Taco Bell. They had multiple businesses. They were really, really doing it. And the young guy was like, man, it's hard. I don't know what I'm doing. And the older guy was like, man, just push through, just wait, and it's going to come to fruition. And so like he could talk boss to him. He's not talking employee to him. So I have like so many things that I've seen. I think the most frustrating thing to me is just that I've experienced it. And then getting around here, realizing like you guys have experienced it too, where I've shared ideas with people who told me like, well, why would you want to invest in Detroit? Why would you want to invest in the ghetto? Why would you want to invest in that property? And then I go talk to Al Williamson, who only invests in the ghetto. And he's like, of course, that's what you want. It's a complete mind shift. There's so many people like everything that we're doing is wrong. If it was right, we'd already have success. But a lot of us are sitting on top of failures, but we think we're right. And so it's like you have to flip your thinking upside down in order to get new things. You change your thinking, you change your life. So, I mean, I have so many other things to talk about, but I'll pass the mic to Andre, see you hatchet.
All right, let's run down the list of things I've been laughed at, mocked at from friends and family with the same sarcastic fucking laugh that Nadesta did in questioning academics. I know what that feels like, and it hit my fucking soul because I've been hearing it since I was 20 years old, or maybe even younger than that. So let me go back. I bought a co-op. A co-op is similar to a condominium if you're outside of New York. People are like, oh, how come you're buying an apartment? Why not buy a house? That's what I could afford. So I bought an apartment that I own, 22 years old. Mocked for that. 23. Got another place with some family members. Oh, you're gonna buy it and rent it out? How come you're doing that? Laughed at for more investments. Go figure. 20 years old. I tried to work with some friends. I was trying to tell the same thing I'm doing now at 36. Same thing. I haven't changed that damn thing. Try to get some friends to buy some property. Some said, yeah, let's do it, but they fell off. Other ones straight up laughed. I said, you know, since we all like Miami, let's a couple colleges in Miami. This was 15 years ago. What would they be worth now? I was 20. I was ahead of the game. Now, fast forward, buying properties in Detroit with people who at the time were strangers. Go figure. Go figure. We could have had 15 years worth of assets. Go forward. My notary company, you should have seen the pushback I got for that. My notary company, 13 years, still doing business. Done business in freaking every state. I've never gotten rich from it, but I made steady money every year since I started the business. Have trained over thousands of people. Some of them might be on the track. A lot of them are making money now. A 25-year-old named Brandon, he now teaches at school with us. He made $360 in one day being a mobile notary. 25 years old. He thanked me in a text message. He said, Dre, you changed my life. That business I was mocked at. Well, banks have notaries, yes, but they don't travel with people. Well, what about this? What about that? What about that? I answered all those questions for years with that same sarcastic ass tone in their voice. Now I have transitioned into teaching you how to do the same, and now they are making money on a part-time or full-time basis. Sold real estate in New York City. Oh, you're going to sell real estate? That's such a tough business. Laughed at for that. Had a job working with special needs children. I left that job. I started off at 15 an hour. Then I got salary, but still I was, even with overtime, I was like at 40 something a year. You know what I was told? Work that job for 20 years so you can get a pension. So from 20 something till about 40 something, work that damn job. They told me to stay at the job for safety, for benefits. People don't leave those damn jobs, which is fine. If you like it, rock it out. I do not like anybody who makes an honest living. But they were pushing me into the box where I can only make X, Y, Z because I only have X, Y, Z skill sets, so I can't do more than that. Left there. Now, when I started teaching, oh, how are you gonna make money? How are you gonna make clients? I'm gonna figure it out. I think people need what I have to offer. I'm gonna team up with some friends like Erica and Charles, and we're gonna see where to go in 3 years strong, kicking butt, doing that. So, long story long, I know exactly what they were saying. It's that mocking ass, arrogant, how dare you believe in yourself attitude. And Nadeska started asking him about his Subway. He has a Subway restaurant. Nadeska, do you have a fucking Subway restaurant? Nadeska, do you have a fucking Subway? His employees didn't go to work one day, and they were even mocking him about that. But at least he owns a freaking Subway.
Drake trying to get me flagged, y'all.
Sorry.
People are conditioned, man. They're conditioned to think that they have to rely on that job. And so anything that looks like what breaks out of that conditioning, because you have to think about it, like the education system was built to create employees. The school system was built to create people who go to jobs, because it's kind of like how Jaden Smith explained it. It's like you wake up, you get there at 8 o'clock, you go to lunch when they say you can go to lunch, then you come back to work, and then you leave. The school system is just like your job, because they're training employees. They're not creating free citizens. And unfortunately, it's kind of similar to, I don't like to go that route, but it's kind of similar to slavery, where I feel like I saw somebody do the numbers and they broke it out and they said, okay, you make 50 grand a year and 12,000, 13,000, 14, actually first they're going to take 15% in taxes. And so now your number is gone smaller. Then you actually factor in your housing, and then you factor in your food, then you factor in your transportation. And so basically what they've done is they've swapped one system for another. They just call it something different, and they have to condition people and convince them to stay close to that job. Anything that looks like it's outside of that framework gets laughed at, gets mocked, gets made fun of. A lot of the reasons, one of the things I was thinking is like, you have to get into the mode of choosing yourself, where nobody else has to trust this vision but me. Not anybody. I love everybody here. I respect you all, but nobody has to agree with my vision for my company but me. And nobody has to agree with your vision, Erica, but you. Nobody has to agree with your vision, Andre, but you. And that's the same thing that Soulja Boy has done. He's chose himself. He's decided that despite opposition, I started a necktie company. And my dad was like, you can't start a necktie company with that sewing machine because blah, blah, blah. Does he own a necktie company? No. He just gives me an opinion based off of what he thinks. It's not rooted in real life. And even if it is rooted in real life, it's not his vision. It still comes back to like what I believe I can do. And I think that more people need to understand that concept of choosing yourself and knowing that like the only thing that matters in regards to the vision of your life is what you believe. So that's kind of where I am right now.
Listen, I want to thank you guys. Seriously, thank you for coming on. Listen, I get it. Everybody on this panel, some of us are working right now, okay? But I want to thank Andal. He said he had to run, but thank you, Andal, for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Leslie, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Big Boy 103 or Big B 103 for the $5 super chat. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for helping this grow. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Here, I'm gonna play it again because some of y'all in the comments say, could you play it again? Give me a second. I will do just that for you. And I'll face it towards the camera. Because I mean, I really think y'all don't know how hot I was about this. I was about to do a show last night at midnight. I had to calm myself. I was like, this is why people don't. I mean, we have several Black people who just finished making $1 million launches on Black Friday, and we still sitting here playing this role like, Like we don't know this can work.
White people at PS4 embrace the black community. Academics, I can bring you on board and you can even have a DJ Academics game. You Twitch your stream all day playing Fortnite and shit. Hold on, but I'm support the black community. It's not a scam. Every game on here is licensed. It's 800 Pinstar games that are licensed. I sold $1 million in one day. Nintendo approached me. Why would they approach you? Academics. Why would they approach you? Because they try to
hold on for a second. Hold that.
Black kids that made $1 million in 24 hours and our games are on the boxes. We want in. Why you name it on the box? Yo, it's the first prototype. It's to cut me some swag. Like, I'm a black entrepreneur. Listen, my nigga, I done made $1 million off this motherfucking console. Look, check this out. Look. Yo, why you and you right. Businesses, you right. If you say 7 orders. It says 7 orders for 200,000. Hold on a minute. Let me show the camera. I gotta show the camera. I love it. Why you have so many businesses though? Because I'm a fucking bonafide hustler. I'm trying to be a billionaire. Why don't you have that many businesses? Niggas in the hood is fucked up on Section 8. I came from the bottom of the bottom, nigga.
Sorry. I mean, why do you have so many businesses? Go ahead. Sorry, Dre. I couldn't hit the button.
I had to move it.
Even before that, even before the why so many businesses, you see how they were just throwing at them, like all those daggers. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? What about this? What about this? That is what you have to deal with now. Times have gotten better with amongst our community, but that's what you have to deal with, and you have to be able to withstand that type of verbal jabbing, and it's probably going to be from parents and childhood friends the most. That's why you got to meet strangers. That you have to meet strangers the majority of the time. Strangers will give you a chance more than these people. But the jab. But what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And he had to answer for all that stuff. And it might not be in the clip, but he said like some people didn't get their orders because they were backed up. He said, you know, we're giving our refunds for those people. I was in line at Slutty Vegan. If you guys haven't been to Atlanta, or if you guys get a chance, this sister, her name is Pinky, not the actress Pinky.
Stop.
Is that restaurant black owned?
The restaurant is black owned. Yeah. She went to Clark Atlanta University. She's in her early 30s. This is her third restaurant. Her last restaurant burned down. She was working with Ayana Van Dam. Yeah. On the show, she left the job and she started in a catering hall, stuff about it there. Got a food truck. Now she has 2-3 hour lines every friggin' night, and they have a storefront now. I was in line the other day waiting the 2 hours because the joint is good, and I want to just be around so many hungry black people. You know, we're just friggin', you know, about that life. I met this brother in line who sells this water. His name is Malcolm. The water is called Alkaline Life. Alkaline Life. He was like, yeah, man, I heard about it. I came here to try to get my water in the store. He had to go pick up his kid, but he went back the next day or 2 days later, and he got his water in the store. He got his water. So I was meeting him in line. He got water in the store, and I bought a case of water from him as well. So just to show people that this is all stranger interaction right here, right? This is all stranger interaction. But the brother got water. He delivers. If you're in the Atlanta metro area, if not, you can order online. It does have a shipping cost, but I made sure I bought it just off the strength of him having that kind of hunger and hustle, and to let them know, because it still stings me, that mocking and laughing, but I'm still bothered. I got shoulders in my head and my feet too. So when I see you with some water, I'll let you know how much is the water, dude? I'm buying your water. I am buying your water. All right.
To that point, I think one thing that we're looking over in the spiel is that he said, hey, my platform creates opportunities for you academics. And I think that people have to really digest that. Like, the Tide Capital brand has allowed me to put Jamal in an executive position. It allowed me to put Lance in the executive position. And so I've always been this kind of guy that it's like, we can beg for diversity or we can create our own diversity. And that's what I've tried to do is, like, he said, hey, you can keep streaming for Fortnite and making Fortnite rich, and you're just getting famous and popular, or you can stream on my site and you be a part owner. It's so much more advantageous of a position. It's a showing of strength. And I think people have to really grasp that, because all the things that you're begging for, are a derivative of successful Black business. And I think that that's one thing that I don't know why there's a disconnect there. But an example is if you're begging for higher wages, I work a job and run a business simultaneously. So I can run my business at my desk, which means, and I tell people this all the time, like I told them to give me a raise. They gave me a raise, but I also gave myself a raise. And so I made more money in my business than I made on my job because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let you guys determine how high I can go. I'm not going to let you guys determine how much money I can make and the lifestyle that I can live. I wrote a blog and said that my job funds my life and my business funds my lifestyle. And so I think that I'm going to go through my notes because there's so many things I have to say. But I think that we have an unwillingness to be different. That's one of the things that I wrote down. I said, people will pick apart your plan. One of the things I noticed in that video is it said, your name's not even on the box. He's like, that's the prototype. People want your plan to be perfect before you start. And then I realize the perfection comes as you go. You perfect as you're doing the work. And so people will try to chop you down at the knees before you even get started because it's not perfect, not realizing like perfect doesn't even exist. How are you going to wait on something that doesn't exist before you get started doing the work that's going to perfect you? So what else did I want to say? I don't know. Let's let Charm City buyers. I want to bow down
real quick, y'all. Real quick, Erica.
Wait.
No, I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't gotta go like leave. I don't want to forget. Perfect is actually the enemy of success because a lot of times we internally, we seek perfection before we even start. So for the outside world, like they'll throw it at us and we'll throw it at us. So internally, you get better as you go along. And if you mess up, give refunds, give extra stuff and tell them sorry and just own up to your stuff. Kiara, I'm sorry, Queen. How are you, by the way?
No, I'm good. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm a little behind. I actually had a closing.
Then I got to cut you off here. I got to cut you off.
Hold on. Cut me off.
Manna Tomorrow was getting ready to say something. Go ahead, Manna Tomorrow.
and once you get quote unquote, it gets perfect in their eyes, they'll be the first ones wanting to jump on and tell you that they've been there for you the entire time, knowing that you heard anything else, man. And that and that's just the real stuff right there, man. But it's just that, hey, you got to keep working with people on your level consistently. You can't be trying to drag people up to your level if they ain't trying to put the work in. Trust me, man, I lost thousands and up to millions of dollars trying to reconcile my past and my present and my future, man. You got to hang out with people who's part of your future and maybe give people an opportunity at the low end, see how they deal with that. But don't put none of these people into high levels of your company if they're not showing the faith and putting the work in. That's all I got.
Man, listen, you guys know this about me. The reason I even moved to Texas is I canceled a wedding. And I tell you, I lost a business at the same time I was in the process of canceling a wedding. And the reason, like, we ain't gonna go too deep, but the point is, when I lost that business, this person was like, well, you can just go back and get a regular job. You should give up this business thing. And that, among many other reasons, I knew I had to let him go. And I was moving to Texas. We were gonna move together. And I was like, nope, I'm gone. This is a wrap. Runaway Bride, for real life, the movie. And it was the best decision I ever made. I can tell you right now, it was the best decision to this day, y'all. Like, if someone doesn't believe in you, that's just the beginning. Like, they don't believe in you. They just showed you their hand. Believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. And I just want to thank you guys. Listen, I got to name off all the people one more time. We got B Great just dropped a super chat for $20. Marquell Jacobs dropped a $5 super chat. Big B 103 dropped a $5 super chat. Andal dropped a $20 super chat. Leslie dropped a $10 super chat. And Doug is right. I'm going to point out Doug's asked me a question in the comment section. Right now, as it stands, 1 in 10 Asians own a business, or on paper. We just saying they filled out the paperwork. 1 in 34 whites, 1 in 54 Hispanics, and 1 in 8 blacks. That's 1 in 108. So look at the comparison. 1 in 10 Asians, 1 in 34 whites, 1 in 54 Hispanics, and 1 in 108 blacks. Why do we think we're complaining about having jobs so hard? It's not that we just lack skill. Everybody wants to say, well, black people must lack skill. That's not it. Sometimes people hire people who look like them, are in close to their sphere. People create opportunities for people near them. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what Todd Milley posts on Twitter, he creating opportunities for people. Now, I would like to introduce to the show, thank you, Doug, to the show, one half of the beautiful couple of Charm City buyers that are like 21-year-olds who are grown with 20 properties, 7 flips. They got a beautiful kid. And listen, they in Baltimore. And you know what? I bet people ask them, why you invested in Baltimore? Why not, bro? They bought a whole block. But please introduce yourself, Kiera.
So I'm Kiera, Charm City Buyers. I know I'm a little late, but I just sold one of those 7 this morning. So I was leaving a closing. I'm getting an invite to join in
Congrats on that sale.
closing. I'm like, Erica gonna have to wait today. But yeah, so I listened to a little bit of the conversation. I think, first of all, Soulja Boy, I think people forget like a lot of what, I'm sure you guys talked about this, but they forget that he set the stage for the whole industry right now, first of all. And then now he's branching out and trying to do new things. And they're still playing the same 16-year-old that we all, threw shade at for for all his little dances and stuff. But at the end of the day, he was revolutionary. So people got to give him his props. And if you don't, he gonna take them and keep it moving and rock it anyway. But yeah, I love the conversation so far. I don't want to be redundant to anything or anybody. But yeah, we're in Baltimore, 20 rentals, down to 6 now. Done sold 1 and keeping it rocking down here in Maryland.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And congrats on that closing, Kiera.
About to go to the bank.
So
Love it.
Prime example, Kiera, what are some of the things people said to y'all when y'all started investing in Baltimore or talking about Baltimore?
Oh, so great question, because y'all talking about how, you don't want to tell everybody what's going on with you because people have negative, they put their negative thoughts or negative positions on you. So when we started investing in Baltimore, we already had 3 units in Connecticut. We started to buy here, and we didn't tell nobody. Didn't nobody know we had property until we probably had maybe 7 or 8 units. Because first of all, it was none of their business, wasn't nobody paying my bills but me. And second of all, I don't need to explain, or I don't need sign off from people on what moves I'm making. And so for us, yeah, we tell you guys, how many rentals we have. We say, how many, some of the flip stuff that we have going on, but y'all don't know everything that we do. And that's because it's really none of your business until we decide or have a conversation about how it's going to be beneficial to share our story, because that's the point of why we share it, to help inspire or, motivate, or just say like, hey, we're super, super normal, super regular, and we can do this and you can too. And so, to be honest, we didn't tell anybody anything about what we were doing until nobody could tell us anything about what we were doing.
You got the skill. You got
the moves. Less announcement.
Genius. Friggin' genius.
More moves. I mean, listen. Y'all don't know how. Go ahead, man, tomorrow.
I got to say is more moves, less announcements.
Exactly. And we'll have several announcements this year. But at the end of the day, it's more moves and less announcements. Everybody doesn't need to know every single thing that you're doing, because that's when you get the most pushback, because people just get too much in your business. I'm going to tell you what I did, not what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Cosign. Be careful of having the need. Be careful of having the need for an excessive amount of cosigns, especially from individuals. You can come in. You can come in. Especially from individuals who you've known for a long time. They're the worst ones to give cosigns. If you want cosigns, you can come in. Holler at experts who have done it, and they will give you their perspective on things. But oftentimes we look for support, which is good, right? We all need, or most of us need some form of mentorship and advice along the way. But the people who we seek it from usually aren't visionaries. Most of us seek it from people who are just bingo. Yeah, live life straight. Okay, cool. But us, obviously, if you're here, you're on some bad about it stuff, or else you wouldn't be here with us, right? You wouldn't be if you weren't on some bad about it stuff. So you need to seek approval from people who are bad about it.
Right. Yeah. You got to look forward. You got to talk to people who have been to where you want to go. That's who you surround yourself with. You surrounding yourself with people who have never left the 5 square miles around their house. Not saying that you got to completely leave people behind, right? You move forward and help try to bring people along and show the way. But sometimes when you're going that uphill battle and trying to figure it out and trying to grow and taking risks, you don't really have the luxury of exposing people who don't understand, and people who might have those small minds. Like our first deal, you guys, I mean, I feel like I'm on the show enough now that you guys know our first deal, we did $120,000 renovation. Why would I tell my mom that I'm doing a rehab on a house that I don't live in, that it costs more than what a lot of people make in a year, a vast majority of people make in a year? Like, why even try to put yourself in a position to explain that to people that aren't really built at that point to understand? Now people are seeing what we've done and can like wrap their head around it a whole lot more. We still don't tell people stuff, but at the end of the day, you have to really pull from people who have been to where you want to go. And then as you reach different peaks, reach back and pull people up. And that's the process. That's where I know for us, Charm City Writers, that's what we target and what we really try to do.
One thing that I think is important and what I've realized is that sometimes the criticism and the jabs that they're throwing at you actually do kind of help, because they polish you and they refine your process. So it's like you don't use it as a reason to do nothing. You just use it as like, oh, maybe I didn't think of that. I need to improve that. Not like, it's not going to kill your dream. It's not going to kill your vision, because the vision is you. It really just says, oh, maybe I need a tighter contract. Maybe I should have thought about this differently. And so I think that like as entrepreneurs, you have to kind of push through imperfection. You can't let imperfection be the reason why you stop, because again, perfection doesn't exist. And so I think that that's just one thing I've experienced personally, is like, there's no perfect way to do something that's never been done. But a lot of people are going to try to say, oh, well, it's not perfect, or, oh, well, what if this happens? And it's like, well, we just adjust. We just have to kind of correct the course as we go along, but we're still going to go along. We're not going to just like sit on the sidelines and wait on the paycheck. Like, no, like perfection doesn't exist. You have NBA athletes who go out there and miss a bunch of shots, but you have us sitting on the sideline expecting to go 100 for 100. So I think even in business, you have to be willing to fail, because your failures actually perfect your success. I always tell people like Tide Capital is really just a failed necktie company. Tide Capital Investment Club is a company that I started that failed. And so then I found out maybe I don't need a dual company that's fashion oriented, because I live and breathe finance. I need to do something that's finance driven. So I'm not even working while I'm working. And so I can put in the hours. I can stay up till midnight, 2 o'clock, writing blogs, editing podcasts, and everything I do pushes the vision forward. I have so many different things that are all just symbiotic to the investment club or to the stock club and all these different things, because they're inside of me. I wouldn't have found that if I wouldn't have failed trying to do something chasing money. And a lot of people are starting business to chase money instead of chasing their vision. Right. And so like Tide Capital is a vision company. Like we're not focused on the ROI. We're focused on creating African-American business owners and investors. Like that's the goal. I can do that in my sleep. I talk about that rain sleep. I talk about that all the time. People get tired of me talking about that, and that's the perfect business to start. I wouldn't have gotten there if I didn't fail. So your failures refine you, basically.
Yeah, I agree. You have to be willing to fail. Like if you're afraid to fail, I think for you, right, or just kind of hearing your story, you're passionate about it, and that's why you can fail forward, because you're doing something that you're passionate about. Failing is part of the process, and anyone who thinks differently is very very confused, right? Failing is part of the process, 100%. I could do whole documentaries on all the failures that we've had, but at the end of the day, how do you adjust? How do you react? How do you move forward?
Man, did y'all see that? They just carried that show for me while I was on the phone. Man, I didn't even say nothing. Thank you, Jesus, for good people. Okay, I just had to do that phone call because it was about the bank. Okay, now I have to give a shout out where shout out is due. Thank you, Malik, for the $10 super chat. Thank you. And Malik, yes, we'll do a part 2 at some point this day, tomorrow, sometime.
I'll have come on with us one day. I know. Malik, hop on one day, man. We need you on here. He has companies. He got condos. He's out there around y'all, Sean.
I know. So, Doug, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Rhonda, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, One Mark DC, for the $5 super chat. Again, thank the other super chatters. Be Great for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Big B103, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Andow, for the $20 super chat. And thank you, Leslie. Whew, for the chance, y'all just making it rain today. Thank you. Happy Friday to me, right? See, I wasn't even gonna. I was so moved by Soulja Boy. I was like, I'm gonna do some kind of special where I talk to people on the phone next week or something for a discount. But hold
Right.
on, I had to catch myself. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. You got a busy week next week. Hold on, girl. So, but I will. I'll think of something before the end of the show. But listen, look at some of the comments. In the comments, y'all are all experiencing this. This is why it's so. Listen, I know some people right now who are adults, two men who are good looking, and a woman who's good looking, but they still have that I used to be a fat kid mentality. And something they uncle said when they was 10, this man is 35 and fine. And he's still worried about what his uncle said about him being fat at 10. This is why I'm so hot about this, y'all. These kids are impressionable. They are seeing Soulja Boy, who is dressed young. I know he's older now, but he is talking about a gaming console, something that touches them, something that they're into, gaming. EA Sports has a ton of black dudes working over there, but you would never even know it here in Austin. They love saying that, oh, there's no black people in Austin. And when I correct them, say there's a bunch of black tech people here. Oh, well, they live up north with all the white people. Well, come on, man, come on. Like, this is really happening here.
Yeah, let's talk about that, right?
And I don't think people understand. There's 205 of y'all here. Man, alternative financial medicine, don't make me get you break your legs. He says, I need your address for that wire. Listen, I'm going to get on the internet and give it to you. But look, thank you for the super chat. But go ahead.
Erica.
Go ahead.
So people also like to box you in. Once you have success in something, people like to hold you to that thing that you've had success in. So bingo. And most times when you're freaking black. So Todd had the stocks, right? People are probably saying just stick with stocks. I'm real estate, just stick with stocks. It's going well, it's going well, it's going well. People like to limit us to our old us. People like to limit us to our old us and to what we're known for. This dude, man, half of the music is freaking free nowadays. He's talking about video games, movies, and watches, and they're trying to bring up music. They're trying to bring up music. Why are you bringing up music, DJ Academics? He told you, man, well, so what, Tiger? So want more records. I have a watch. I have a video game. I have a movie coming out. I have a Subway. So we have to realize when people are trying to box us into what we were doing before and hold us to that same old ass, weak ass effing standard. Now we got new standards out here, dude. We got new standards out here, dude. New thought process, new leveling the F up. Yeah, I'm still pissed.
Dre, we feel it in your soul, baby. We feel it. Now, listen. This is why I did this. Okay, and you guys know how I am about YouTube. You know how I am about going over. I'm sorry, man. Tomorrow, were you gonna say something? Yeah, you know how I am about YouTube. But I'll go with the other people's channels. They're like, well, you're not like everybody else. You didn't have a regular black people upbringing. Like, you're not like. Are you kidding me? There's 46 million black people in America. There's 46 million ways to be black. Stop this shit. It's so ridiculous. This is why kids don't pursue anything. And y'all think peer pressure. Well, nobody's going to peer pressure me. You're grown. You're 24, 25 years old. Of course, nobody's going to peer pressure you to go out and eat at Chipotle at 5 o'clock if you don't want to. That's different. I'm talking about significant life changes. I am telling y'all, there are kids who are making the decision to not take hard classes. They're making decisions not to go to hard colleges. There are people, because his name even brought it up. That's why I wanted to bring him on the panel. People are majoring in music at school. Baby, if you don't stop wasting that student loan money, you got to really touch and talk to these kids, because kids are going to see this. And they see that the black community has been here. I think Man Tomorrow said it, like 40 years. We've been in this holding pattern. For 40 years, we're still on the same old crap. The big three, and I'll call them the big four now, but the big three are always going to be businesses, real estate, stocks. The big four now is tech. So you got people coming on the show, Ray J, all these people doing startups, and you clowning them. Like, and one dude was like, well, Erica, it's a subpar product. So what? But if he could go connect with somebody else out there and improve the product, that's the next level. But we so busy trying to clown him.
One of the ways you improve a product is by buying the product. I always tell people that your business improves your business. And so you can sit on the sidelines, you can wait for a venture capital to just drop cash on you, or you can get out there, sell a product, bring in the revenue from that product, and then improve your product. Like, that's how you do it. I mean, that's a way to do it. You can also sit on the sidelines and wait for VC money. But I think that a way for people who might not have access to capital is you have to be strategic. You have to think differently. It's exactly what Elon Musk did. He needed money for his boring company. He sold flamethrowers. How come it's okay for Elon Musk to do it, but not for you? I think that one of the interesting things, and I've experienced the whole you're not Black because whatever my whole life, but I think that people do themselves a disservice by not listening to people like us, because there's a reason why we grew up the way we grew up, because our parents more than likely took their circumstances, said F their circumstances, and found a way to get over. My parents, what they did is they didn't stop working. So my mom worked a full-time job. She got her degree in the evening time and a degree that mattered. She got a degree in accounting, which then gave her a trajectory to 6 figures. My stepdad was the same way. He had his job, and then he worked another job, and he got himself into the upper middle class because he was then got into home ownership. And so instead of sitting there wallowing or saying you're not Black, it's like, how can we figure out how to be that kind of Black person? I think that's a more noble pursuit. Not to say, oh, you're not Black, we struggle over here. Like, F that, man. Like, why we got to struggle all the time? Like, why can't we figure out how to not struggle? We can. It's just not easy. It takes work. It takes sacrifice. It takes not having nights and weekends. You can do it. You just can't be comfortable.
Many of us, Todd, are addicted to our struggle stories.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that again. Many of our people are addicted to our struggle stories. So I have a struggle story. I don't talk about it every 5 minutes because I got good stories. I stutter. Now it's gotten better, but when I was young, it was really tough. I have a learning disability, as they call it in the school system, so they put me in all kinds of specialized classes. I filed bankruptcy. I can talk about that every 5 minutes, but I don't talk about it for 5 minutes. You know, I just don't. I could dwell on those things, and then I could say, you know what, I've lost houses. I have houses. I lost houses. I got scammed. More struggle story stuff. I could live there, right? I could live there and I could stay there, but I don't. You have to abandon your struggle story. So, see, there's comfort in that story because we get people who will cheer for us. We get people who will sympathize with us. We get people who will pat us on the back. It's like the lady whose past 5 boyfriends are horrible dudes. I'm like, lady, like, there's been 5 dudes in a row here. Like, you got to change something up. There's
common denominator.
It's you. And we have to be willing to, one, acknowledge that we are living where we don't need to be and leave that comfort of dysfunction. We have to free ourselves from that struggle and from that dysfunction and write up a new chapter. Write a new chapter for ourselves. And another thing I want to talk about, when people start believing in you, I think it was Kiara who said it earlier, or might have been Chuck. So from 22 to 33, I was habitually laughed at and mocked by friends. A few in particular, habitually mocked and laughed at. I was like the weird person, or maybe the loser out of the friend circle for those friends. No hint, no guess that those friends are 9-to-5ers. Go figure. So everything I did, it was insane. You know when they stopped laughing at me? When I started to do work with more famous people publicly, in particular Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I became friends with Jay Morrison. Once I started doing work hanging out with those people, they're like, oh, maybe he's not crazy. So for a decade, same hardcore work, same hardcore Black work, again, the Black that I circulate, same asset, buying real estate, trying to buy real estate, teach people about real estate, teach people about the notary business. Same stuff I've been doing. I didn't change a damn thing, but I got co-signed by people who they deemed as famous and successful. Then they stopped laughing at me, and a few of them apologized. You got to keep on going and find people who rock with you. You probably won't know them. You probably don't know them now, but they are out there. You got to find them because it hurts. It hurts when you're first starting. It's easy for me now to block it out because I've done a lot of stuff. But in those early stages, man, it could sting, especially when the money's low. I was like, oh man, maybe they're right. No, I was like, no. I got to keep going. And if I would have stopped, I wouldn't have been able to teach 25-year-old Brandon how to make $360 in one friggin' day as a damn notary public in Chicago. Shout out Brandon. Now he teaches our class too.
Man, listen. I gotta give a shout out to Alternative Financial Medicine for the second $5 super chat. Stuff I make money at: physician, landlord, flipping houses, trading auctions, and now I own a truck with Erica. Thank you. Rhonda Mary, $5 super chat. This combo is so needed. Thank y'all. Listen, y'all. Y'all don't know how much I want to go off, but I'm trying to be good. It's Freedom Friday now. Y'all putting that money in the coin box, so I'm gonna be right. But this is a ripple effect. Because the next person that wants to come on their channel and talk about a cool ideal, guess what they're not going to talk about? Gaming, tech. They're not going to talk about that. I got some liquor. I got some weed. I got a vape shop. But you know what I'm saying? Like again, this is my whole point. This sports money, this music money is short. Unless you're Sir Mix-a-Lot, where you own the rights to Baby Got Back. And he got lucky. This is $100 million song. Who knew Baby Got Back was going? I have white friends who love Baby Got Back. They like, can we play it at a wedding? You be like, Baby Got Back? Really? We still playing that? They love that song. That's a one-hit wonder. And if he had not owned the rights to his music, he'd be another broke rapper. Okay? And he even owns real estate. Slim Thug started music with his dry looking self out of Houston. But guess what? He's a house developer now. He in the raggedy parts of Houston developing houses where other people would not go. Because he's from there. Come on, Man of Tomorrow's from what? Mississippi, Man of Tomorrow. Where are you from? Mississippi? You know, these people do not. There you go. Man of Tomorrow, did you try to help people from your hometown?
Yeah, and I still do. And they still don't want to be a part of it. That's fine. I mean, because I'm not flashy when I go down there. You know, they just want to be part of something that's super successful. They don't know I own half the city, and I'm definitely not going to tell them. You know?
I'm telling you, man, tomorrow you got to go into little cities and buy up everything and just be laughing. Gotcha. I mean, so I want to thank Harry Mingo for the $20 super chat. I want to thank Shonda J for the $4.99 super chat. Listen, what I'm trying to get y'all to see is Soulja Boy broke open a door. And yes, that's what he's known for. The dances, the juking, the whatever you call it, the woo and all that stuff people do. Kiera, don't you judge me. I don't know what he was doing. But the dances, right? But isn't this a testament to the second part of life? Kobe Bryant did basketball all those years, and now he has a hedge fund. The reason I'm pushing out Grandview acquisitions right now is because I see how hard the pushback was of Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Do you know there's over 30, 50 really high prominent Black people that are all over the United States that have hedge funds right now, but we don't know them, and they're young. They're literally Todd and me and Kiera's ages. And I see why they don't go on Breakfast Club. I see why they don't go the avenue of Tulsa Real Estate, because they like, ooh, Black people ain't ready. I'm gonna go get my money from over here. Let's keep it a buck here on this channel. 90% of my credit repair, 90% of my tax lien sales, 90% of the bulk of what I sell on this channel is to white and Hispanic people in Texas and New York. And I know y'all in the comments, feel free to answer. Y'all don't be scared. Y'all be dropping in money chats, super chats all the time too. But just that's my point. You don't have to just sell to the community. You can sell anywhere. But the community is the first to chop you in your ankles. I went home and was like, yo, I'm buying some trucks. Why are you doing that? We have family members who own trucks right now, making money off trucks, and they're going to ask me, why am I do that? You going to drive? No, I ain't going to drive. I'm going to own them. I ain't doing daily operations, and they're going to be on the road and making us money. I mean, y'all just don't understand. Go ahead.
So I remember when LeVar Ball said he was dropping a sneaker line, and he dropped his first sneaker and they hated on this sneaker, and he dropped the second sneaker that looked better, and they kind of got quiet. And so
he kept going.
Right. It's like, if you look down the line of people who made it, I think that it's just a part of the process. And it's kind of like what I was talking about with that immigrant business owner. He told the young dude, he said, you got to wait. It's a part of the process. And so now I put out a tweet once, and it said something like, if people aren't laughing at your plans, you're headed towards mediocrity. And so I think it's like, we have to just accept that getting laughed at on Breakfast Club is just a part of the process. Like, if you want to do something different, they're going to laugh. And then it's going to start, and it's not going to be perfect. And you're going to just have to make do with what you have. Master P was selling CDs out of his trunk. They said he had to like draw his CD covers with like crayon or something. It's a part of the process. So we can't get mad at the process. We can't get mad when employees don't appreciate the process. We just got to be like, hey, we're just going to keep moving forward. Tide Capital is going to be bigger in year 3. It's going to be bigger in year 4, bigger in year 5. But we're not going to stop, because our contract has a clause that's indefined. Like, people do that to me. People, like, somebody sent me a text like, I want to have a conversation about your contract. There's some terms in here that I think need to be better defined. I was like, bro, are we buying houses or not, man? Like, I'm focused on the buying houses process, not did I have the proper title in my document. I think we focus on the wrong stuff, man.
Yo, Tom, remember the dude who we bought out that time last year?
Yeah, I remember.
Careful. We don't want him coming on the internet getting us. Listen.
Yeah, well, I won't go into the exact detail, but basically, they weren't happy with the conditions. Cool. We had 5 or 6 other people, me included, said, you know what? Okay, cool. We're going to step our equity up, and we're going to give you back your investment, and we're going to keep this thing pushing. We kept that thing pushing. You got to know when to keep things pushing. Not everybody will come along with the journey. Some people need their stuff back quick, ASAP, ASAP. Other people like us, we have some short stuff and we have some long-term stuff before we get the long-term play. And you also got to get that when you start, it won't be friggin' perfect. There has to be some flexibility there. As long as the integrity is there and communication is intact, you got to have some flexibility along with your people and along with your plan.
So I'm gonna talk about what you just said about the guy we bought out. But 2, do you remember when Dame Dash came on and they were doing? I mean, I didn't even know what the Breakfast Club was. Let me keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100 real quick, and y'all gonna be like, I can't believe you. I don't look for nothing black on YouTube for a long time. I just didn't, because I didn't want to get in these relationship dramas. I wasn't looking for makeup. I wasn't trying to find out how to go to Miami and where to hang out in Miami. I wasn't trying to do none of those. Okay. I was talking about business and real estate, and whoever got on, right? Then I got pulled in by O'Shea, and, it took me over to the Manosphere and all that stuff. Then I got pulled in some other directions. But what I've seen, what I can tell you for sure, if y'all don't wake up and get on some of these trains that are leaving the station, every time I see another video about I moved to Atlanta and I regret it, I just want to knock the computer down. You moved to Atlanta with no skills. There's tech jobs in Atlanta. There's highly skilled, trained black people in Atlanta. And this bad rep that Atlanta gets, like it's just a bunch of people hanging out every weekend. They ain't had Freak Nick in 20 years. They ain't doing that no more. Okay. There's a bunch of highly trained, highly skilled black people down there, and people are missing that boat. And this is what I see. Like when Dame Dash came on there trying to explain it to them, I didn't even know what Breakfast Club was. I was like, who is this? Trying to tear down this good man, right? Which he ain't that great. But let me just say, for the fact of what he was saying, I felt every bit of Dame Dash, where you're sitting there trying to tell people something till you blue in the face, and they like, I don't know about that. And I'm glad for this government shutdown, because y'all getting a wake-up call. I'm not gonna call it what Tariq called it, but you're getting your wake-up call, okay? This is the time. This is the bell. The train's leaving the station. Like, I don't even think everybody should own a business, but even if you do want to step up to get a higher paying job, get some certification, something, own or be owned, it's a real deal. Gentrification wouldn't even be this conversation if a lot more people own their home. Kiera and Khalil own a block, y'all. They own a bunch of houses on one street. And why I'm laughing, because people be like, well, Eric, you don't understand what it's like being under 30. You can't get no house. Who do you hang around? I keep bringing on people who are under 30 owning houses, and they're like, well, you just don't understand. Up north, it's more expensive. They're up north. They're above DC. I mean, like, again, even in Detroit, when I told people I bought some houses with Todd Capital in Detroit, ooh, why you buying there?
That's what they say.
Like,
yeah, the rent money is still green, though.
People need somewhere to live. Oh, Baltimore, The Wire. That's why I keep bringing here on, because people love trying to trash Baltimore. Listen to me. If you don't believe nothing else I say, when Baltimore got CIAA, there is plans for that city. All these people leaving New York, all these black people running on the midnight train yesterday out of New York, and the white people leaving New York. Where are they going to go? They're not going to go all the way to Atlanta. They're not going to Raleigh, North Carolina. They're going to stay closer to New York. What's in between Philly? What's in between DC? Baltimore. What's still affordable? What can they buy up and people going to rent for years, because that's all they do is rent? Baltimore. Don't sleep. I'm telling you, like, they're in a perfect place and they know it. Okay. I'm going to go on. Somebody else take it all away from me before I look over the comments. I'm going to share. Go ahead. Kiera, anybody who's been quiet a minute, please speak up.
Man, tomorrow you want to go?
No, now I got a business call, so I got to roll out.
Thank you, man, tomorrow for visiting.
All right,
That's the millionaire James Bond, y'all. Bye, millionaire James Bond.
All right, y'all.
Be good.
But the closing we just did was somebody from down DC, below DC, always in DC, and is buying in Baltimore, just like everyone else that's moving into the city. It's
how far is the commute?
Go ahead.
How far is the commute from DC to Baltimore?
DC to Baltimore, first of all, is a 30-minute train. But it's an hour. The problem is if you drive, the traffic getting back and forth. So traffic can be like hour 15, hour and a half. But it's not far. It's not far at all. It's a 45-minute to an hour drive on a good day. So you see a lot of people moving up here because they can't afford to live down there. You can take transit down to DC. And Baltimore, I'm telling you, there's bomb restaurants. There's great like nightlife is starting to build. There's a lot of young Black professionals, which is a lot of fun. So there's actually an organization here called Black Young Professionals. There's probably about 300-400 members. Everyone's a doctor or lawyer, business owner, whatever. So it's actually really, really dope. And they do happy hours all the time. And at these happy hours, we go around Baltimore and literally take over restaurants. It's the most amazing thing. Everyone's like Gucci down to the socks, right? Everyone got their stuff together, and it is so much fun. And it's they'll do block parties. Like when you think about some of the really cool things about DC, we're doing it here in Baltimore, and people miss that because they're still living off of 10, 15 years ago when it's like you either have to be all about DC or all about Baltimore, when at the end of the day, like the shit's the same. Like really, what's the difference? They're an hour apart. At the end of the day, what matters is that Baltimore is absolutely going to look 100% different in the next 5 to 10 years than it has the previous 5 to 10 years. Just like I said that shit 5 years ago, and it looks completely different now than it did then. And if you don't believe me, watch me, right? There's a ton of money pouring into the city right now from developers all over, not to mention the fact that Opportunity Zones is going to blow Baltimore up. And not only from a federal level, right? Trump was coming here. He was actually going to be on our block, but whatever. He ain't come, so fine. And then you have the state. Our governor just put $57 million aside to help incentivize people to invest in opportunity zones from a state level, in addition to the federal tax incentives that the Opportunity Zone Fund provides. There is going to be a renaissance in Baltimore. So y'all can watch The Wire if you want to. Have fun. I'm going to keep doing what I do.
But I think that to that point, I was doing some thinking, and it sounds like the reason why you guys are able to acquire a lot of units is because you thought differently about the city when everybody else was thinking one way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that that's a principle that's not just a real estate principle. It's a stock market principle for sure. That's one thing I realized by making a lot of bad investments. When I first started investing, I would buy like what was hot. I would say, oh, Netflix is booming right now. Apple is booming right now. And that's when you lose your money. And the same principle translates to real estate. That's what Warren Buffett did. He buys what people, it's like when they say be fearful when they're greedy, greedy when they're fearful. And so when you guys got into Baltimore, you were able to be greedy. You were able to gobble up as much as you could possibly gobble up.
Absolutely. And I think what makes Baltimore really cool, because I completely agree with you, and that is a principle all over stocks and real estate, right? You run there when everyone else is running away. You're going to buy when the reputation isn't high because the property values are going to be low, right? Absolutely. What I think is interesting and will continue to be interesting about Baltimore is that although all of these things are happening and all the indicators are there financially, when you look at what's happening, what the plans are with the city, who's dropping money, all of that, the reputation of Baltimore remains the same. So there's the people who have it, know it, and are doing things about it, but everyone else is being pushed to the wayside because they're still having conversations. There was something that came out in the last few days that called Baltimore one of the most dangerous cities still, right? But I don't even think my door's locked. I don't even know where the hell I'm at on the side of the road. So, like, to be honest. So like
lock the door.
Yeah, I know. My husband's gonna be pissed when he sees that later. But I mean, I think that you have these reputations, you have them, still pushing, telling people to move out of the city because it's dangerous and all this other kind of stuff. Well, the programs are moving in the county because they're making room for people to move into and buy in Baltimore. Like, you have to be able to take yourself out of the micro and see the macro, and the macro is crazy right now.
Yeah,
same thing's happening in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
It happens everywhere. A lot of us don't. A lot of our people,
we're reactive, not proactive.
Are reactive, and we think too short term. Everything is within 6 to 18 months. A lot of us think within 8 to 16 months, if I don't have this and this, it's a failure. I'm not going to fix my credit. It's going to cost me $300 to $500, and I won't have credit for. I won't have good credit for a year. That's too long to wait. What are you talking about? You need You're 25. You're 28. You're 35. You're 40. You have years to go. So you're not going to do something because you won't see the rewards from it right away. I don't think there's going to be any hoods in 7 years, 10 years. I don't think there's going to be any.
You're going to be in the. They're going to push you out. You're going to be pushed out. Listen,
I think there's nowhere to go.
It's a cycle. It all kind of goes.
I think that they're going to be turned into middle class neighborhoods. I don't know that you can just improve the community without improving the people. And so that's one thing I had a conversation with Khalil. We were talking about how, like, when opportunity zones come in, it's not just real estate, it's also businesses. Businesses create jobs. And so then you raise the income there. And so then it's not a hood, not because we got rid of the black people. It's not a hood because we gave the black people money and jobs and opportunity. So that's different. One point that I want to make is that a lot of times people, they wait until it's safe and they end up getting pushed to the back of the food chain. And so if you wait until the market is safe, you become a renter. If you wait until a job is, or a business is safe, you become an employee. If you get in front of the trend, you become an owner. And so I think that we have a lot of people who are back of the food chain, people who want front of the food chain benefits, but they don't realize, like, you got to get out there when it's not safe. You get in before then the investment is proven safe, and that's how you win. You don't wait until it's safe, because then you're getting crumbs. It's like buying a deal from a turnkey person. Like, do you want to be the turnkey person or do you want to be the wholesaler? The wholesaler has a bunch of options. The turnkey person has one option.
So part of the thing I saw too is when she asked, "Why do you have so many businesses?" Now, I brought Todd Milley on because three times. Like she was confused. She needed an answer. Okay, so and before Man of Tomorrow left, in the beginning, he said he'll meet people and they'll give him a business card and it's got like a bajillion things on it. So I wanted to address that because I want to say, yes, sometimes I see people do messy business. They don't know the proper etiquette, or they don't know, or if you see somebody give you a business card and they mark out a phone number and write their phone number in pen, that drives me crazy because I'm like, baby, you just need to spend $50 and get new business cards. Like, just get rid of that, right? And to a degree, I even move it past business cards. LinkedIn. When I try to speak to a lot of people and ask them, are they on LinkedIn? It's almost like a deer in the headlights. Like, LinkedIn, what's that? You're telling me you want to make 6 figures or more, or you want to be a business, or you don't know what LinkedIn is, where millions of dollars is being moved and shuffled, where lots of, let's just call it what it is, the predominant culture is on there kind of recruiting people for jobs. Like, literally someone in the comments said they quit their job and recruiters are already hitting them up for $93,000 a year jobs. And they're in illustration. I think I'm sorry if I missed your name, but that's the power of being in proper position. Unfortunately, our people are not even in position. They're not even on LinkedIn. They're giving you these business cards. I mean, like, I understood what Man Tomorrow was saying, people doing too many things.
Well,
but when you say multiple businesses, this is what I'm trying to get to ultimately. People act like you can't hire people. That's my whole point. Like, so what? He has many businesses. He doesn't have to physically spend hours and hours and hours working on each individual business. You can hire staff. You can delegate to other people. And that's what people completely miss about that whole statement. When she said it, I was like, is she stupid? Like, is she stupid or is she trying to play dumb? Like, because again, somebody said this in the comments and I want to read it. Warren Buffett has 67 businesses. He owns stock in 30 companies. Our president, whether you like him or not, He has his name on 650 different LLCs, corporations, and companies. 650. You think Donald Trump is in all 150? You think he goes to every meeting, makes every phone call every day? No. That this is how far behind we are, that we are not even hip, that you can put a system in place. Like, you ever hear about franchises? Imagine that. You can start a Chick-fil-A franchise and not be in there. That's how far behind people are, that they don't even realize that you can start a business and not have to work in it. But go ahead.
It's about having organized. I was on the multiple streams thing hardcore, and I obviously still am. But about 3 years ago, here's what I got better at. I got better at about organizing my multiple streams and knowing when to launch multiple streams. So now I don't launch more than one thing at one time now. I space it out, and then when I get to a certain point of success, then I launch the next thing. Oftentimes we try to jumble everything together. We don't have a person like Todd consulting us or consulting us, and we try to throw things out there. That's messy, but you can have very structured, organized businesses, and that will allow you to have multiple streams of income in a clean manner. I want to know here who's going to take action. So people can invest with you with X. Well, I think you're probably all filled up now, but just this week alone, you were able to have people come on board with you. Todd consistently has people coming on board with him. I think Charm City does joint venture deals, if I'm not mistaken, Kiara. Who's going to take some action if they don't have enough to do it on their own? I want to know, like, type it in below. For as little as $500 or $1,000 with Todd, to a few $1,000 with you, and I'm not sure if Kiara's minimum buy-in or if they have one.
We do. It's a little bit higher, but that's okay.
Okay.
Whatever it is y'all looking to do.
It's
Okay.
a little bit higher.
So there are ways to get these things done. You don't have to leave New York if you like New York. That's Rich Jobbin. You can invest in Baltimore with Kiara and get some stuff done. There are ways. We are giving you the problems, the F stuff going on, and we're giving you people who are tried and tested and who have great reputations who you can get stuff done with. You are not on your own.
So Jermaine, before you go to Jermaine, I got see, you gonna make me get to the old me, and I'm gonna need Jesus again. Okay. Jermaine said this, and I know what he's trying to do, but I'm trying to get you to go to the next level over here, Jermaine. Jermaine said, what she meant is he has a lot of random businesses that are not related and not focused on anything in particular. A small business person shouldn't spread themselves too thin. Jermaine, did you just miss what I said? Soulja Boy is a multimillionaire. A multimillionaire. If he owns a Subway franchise. Do you think he's in Subway? Do you think he over there making sandwiches, putting the gloves on? Is he? Is he doing that? I mean, maybe, did I miss something? No, he's not. You can start whole businesses. You can buy a business out of a box, put a staff person in there, train them. And I'm not going to say you're not never going to touch it again, but you're going to just periodically check on it. You can hire business managers. Do you think a multimillionaire like Soulja Boy does not know that, like, I probably should hire a business manager? I mean, so what if he has 27 different damn businesses? The key here is I've seen people do this. I've seen a girl literally sell, and like, she has t-shirts, tactical, all kind of shit in this warehouse over here in Round Rock. But she runs her ads off separate websites. All the stuff in the same warehouse, but she's running ads off these separate different websites. I feel you trying to defend it, but I'm feeling some type of way here. But go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
So there's this Chris Rock line, and he says that when a Caucasian man gets money, he opens up a Walmart and he creates jobs for other Caucasian guys. He said, we get money, we buy some jewelry. And I think that people don't like that statement,
Charles.
but it speaks to the fact that, like, you have to create opportunities for other people. By you growing your wealth, you're actually creating opportunities for other people. Soulja Boy is starting things that he can't run himself, and he slides in other people. And so it's like, that's what I do. Every single logo is usually a partnership. Like, I partner with CPAs, I partner with tax professionals, I partner with the person who's going to drive the truck. I'm not driving. I'm the maestro. I'm Tom Brady. I just see who needs to go where, and I send them there. Like, I think that that's a mindset that a lot of people don't really realize because they associate money with time instead of money with ideas.
Bingo.
Exactly.
So I think it's a disconnect. And a lot of people, if you only get your education from what you see on TV or what you hear on the radio, it's going to be tough to really do things that the average person doesn't do.
Like Kiera flipping 7 houses. Did you see Kiera one time with a hammer? No, she in the office with a whiteboard, writing up where people supposed to be. You see her every time she come on show, she firing somebody. Every week she firing somebody.
Oh, I got somebody's ass this morning, Erica. I'll tell you
like,
later.
She's like, I don't like the way the towel turned. You fired. Oh, I didn't like the way you did that. You fired. She be firing people, y'all. And so this mindset.
Stop telling people that.
You know where it comes from?
For no reason. I just, if I'm right, expect my stuff to be done the way I want it.
She be firing from
Hey, Erica, are you able to see my screen?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. It shows my notary company, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here goes an example of how you structure different companies if you have multiple businesses going on. One, here goes, let's call her Rebecca. Let's play the video. Can you hear it?
It's very faint.
Okay, that's cool.
But we can see her essentially.
Okay, cool. So one, not every company you have to be the face of. For the prices that I charge people, most of my clients aren't going to be Black. So I know that they like white ladies. Here goes a white lady. 2, are there any other businesses that I own on this site?
Oh man. Nope,
No.
You have one thing at a time. At a time.
This is it. So if you go here and here you want a notary for a loan closing, fingerprinting, whatever, this is what you do here. Here goes a page here. This is Black Course, or I think you can see it. Tell me if you can't see it. Black Course Builders. Is it coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. This is if you want to learn how to build your own online academy. You can go here. I'll show you how to build up your own online academy. I'll show you what I've made. I show the Stripe payments. I show you how to do this here. Many times you want to throw everything in an unorganized, unstructured manner. Then we don't look like a serious business owner. I took the time out. I spent friggin' thousands of dollars to kind of change that for me and to make sure that everything had a system, everything was organized, and then I'm able to serve everybody in the correct manner. Now it takes time, and often I have to slow down to speed up, but ever since I have slowed down, I have sped up, and this is how I've been able to systemize me doing multiple things at one time. Steps like that.
I'm telling y'all, listen, the biggest thing you'll see, I know everybody's not going to get it all at one time.
Right.
I know they're not. I know I'm not expecting too much to expect y'all to get every concept I throw out on this channel at one time. A lot of times, the other day I got on the whiteboard in the video I did the other day, and I wrote out all the little ways that pay me money, right? Because people are like, oh, how you making 6 figures from YouTube? You ain't big like these other Black girls with hundreds of thousands of subscribers for doing their hair on TV. Boo-boo, no, you missed it. You missed the whole point of what I'm trying to say. And so I just wrote out the different ways: publishing, author, credit repair, all kind of stuff, consulting, investment groups, deals, just different things. But they didn't get started all at the same time. Different things started at different times. Different ventures appear in front of you at different times. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. And everything doesn't need your 100% attention. Sometimes you got a lot of startup, and what a lot of people are doing is they're starting something in their home office. So they think everything's like that. Man, if I start this next business, it's gonna be just like this, taking all my time. But it doesn't necessarily be that way. There's leverage points. When you have money, you can leverage other people's time, other people's skills. I think people are confused when they talk about OPM. When Robert Kiyosaki started doing the whole other people's money, people were like, yeah, I need to get other people's money. But he meant also their skills, their time, because, GC, general contractors, he meant a lot more than what y'all are really thinking or taking in. Does that make sense? So
Yeah. You go, Kiara.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone has something to bring to the table, right? If it's not cash, it's knowledge. If it's not knowledge, it's time, right? There's different ways to add value. And I think that people need to take a second to figure out what value they add and how to turn that into something. Like what value can you add? If you can't throw money into this opportunity, but you are familiar with the process, right? Or whatever, right? You have contacts, you have a network, you know people, you can do stuff. Like figure out what value you add and make that work for you. That's a lot. That is a foundation of a lot of what people use to start businesses or go about different opportunities. They found what value they could add in a space that they were passionate about, hopefully, right? You should be passionate about where you're spending your time. But at the end of the day, is it money? Is it time? Or is it knowledge?
Oh, for sure. Listen, whew, y'all. Okay, Jermaine said that Soulja Boy acts like a scammer. Look, we're gonna do another show on this, and I'm not.
Scammer act like? No. Let's talk about it. What does a scammer act like, and what exact characteristics did he pose as scamming?
Give me your definition, Jermaine, of what a scammer is, or what his scamming skills are. Show me, because I feel like he came on there just like any other. I've seen a lot of different white rappers, white musicians put their name on a lot of different products over here on Instagram, YouTube, with the same everything. But now he's a scammer. I just need you to clarify what a scammer is, because I really truly feel like a lot of times when it's brown people, the whole Nigerian scammer thing, right? That we get this kind of, extra detective eyeballs on it. So I'm just trying to, damn, T Green. Y'all wow in these chats. Y'all are wow. Y'all are 10x wow up in these chats. Please. I mean, I'm just saying, Jermaine, if you have the time, I don't want you to damage yourself if you're driving or something. I just want you to be clear, so we know your definition. Oh, for sure, KG, for sure. So, I mean, I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this because I have a ton of stuff to do today. I'm on, I got a Monday show where I'm going to have my new fancy camera recording me closing on these 2 trucks from where I worked with people, where we work together, partnerships. And I think, again, this is another incident where people keep, everything's a scam, everything's a ripoff. And that's why their life don't improve. That's why their life looks the way it looks. Jermaine, we waiting on you, boo-boo. Come on with it. If you're going to bring it today.
Yeah, because people throw that damn word around like...
It makes them feel good.
I mean, I would love to know what exactly he exhibited that shows scamming behavior. He said, we were hit with orders that we didn't expect. If you want a refund, we will give you money, refund back on the video game. That shows a money back guarantee in my book. I just want to see some proof that he's into some nonsense. I haven't seen it. He's, his style is not my style. It's different, but hey, it is what it is.
Look, Todd Millie put, if it isn't attached to a paycheck, it's a scam. Everything's a scam. You know what I mean? And we have to, I'm going to do a part 2 on this show. I'm going to see if Casino is the name can get on later today. And a few other business people I know can get on later today, because I feel like these are watershed moments. Now, Dame Dash is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. Dame Dash is funny. And some of the stuff Dame Dash said, people just, Black Twitter went crazy on it. But I want y'all to see how this government shutdown is happening. I'm telling you, I know people who sit on boards of nonprofits in multiple cities, and they're like, Erica, this shit is real, for real. Like, they gonna cut off the Head Start, they gonna cut off the Section 8, they gonna cut off the food stamp. Like, This ain't a joke. And so when people sit here and play like, oh, I ain't got time to do that, or I ain't got time to learn about how to make my money make money, you are behind.
Dude, listen.
You're not going to live in these cities. You're not going to live in these complexes. Berry Farms in DC, they gave you a voucher to leave. Not did you want to come stay in the new places. Here's a voucher, leave.
Listen.
And y'all are playing this game. It don't make no sense.
Listen, if this government shutdown nonsense didn't wake you up, we were already headed into a recession, Erica, in my book. This government shutdown, all it did was expedite the process. We've been telling you guys consistently, I'm not the hugest believer in passion, upfront passion. And I think if you can get it, go for it. If you're passionate about your career, your business, your hobbies, your side hustles, go for it. I don't need to be passionate about everything I do. I look for back end passion, not front end passion. So I do things that are kind of monotonous, a little bit boring, but I do it well because it pays. You need some things that you have a high likelihood of getting paid for on a consistent, ongoing basis, right? You need some things that have a high likelihood to pay you on an ongoing, consistent basis. That's why I love my notary company so much, because it's been doing that for 13 plus years.
Look, y'all, I gotta run today. I'm literally doing business in between here and there, and I'm setting up the new studio over the course of the weekend. So, y'all, I'll do a part 2. But again, yeah, Todd Capital. Some people ask in the comment section, how do they connect with Todd Capital? Gumroad at Todd Capital. He put it in the comment section. There's so much. There's so much I want to talk to y'all about. But you see, Jermaine didn't come back. Jermaine, I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, whoever. If you want to chat or message, we have all type of people in the comment section. I just wanted to make sure you made your definition clear what a scammer was. We gave you an opportunity. You didn't say that. So anyway,
Erica, in closing point, if everyone can check out my man who I met the other day, Malcolm, good brother, great alkaline water, Alkaline Lift. He's on Instagram as well. Alkaline Lift. If you're in the Atlanta metro area, he will deliver it. Great water, owned by a black brother.
Okay, so thank you. Listen, thank you. You guys were amazing today. Again, I'm gonna read off the super chats because y'all were just so strong, and then I'm gonna run. But Andre's right. Are y'all gonna take action this year? Are you gonna get a mobile notary? Are you gonna get in real estate? Are you gonna get in stocks? I'm bringing Terry back on in a little bit. I'm bringing Tasha back on. She paid off $80,000 in student loan debt. A lot of people out here just playing, man. So again, I'm gonna read these off. Thank you so much, Jermaine. You had your opportunity, but we gotta run. So again. Thank you, Harry Mingo, for the $20 super chat. And no, Harry Mingo, I don't talk about penny stocks at all on this channel because I lost $4,000 in college on penny stocks. And then I changed my methods for investing. All right. Thank you to Shauna for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Rhonda, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Alternative Financial Medicine, for the 2 different $5 super chats. Thank you, Malik, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, Doug, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, the other Rhonda Wimberly, for the $10 super chat. One Mark DC for the $5 super chat. Be Great for the $20 super chat. Big B103 for the $5 super chat. And Dow for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Dow. Leslie. And Leslie. New York.
What up, Endo? Hope everything's going well. How's the baby doing?
So look, I love y'all. We'll do more of this. We'll talk more about it because there's 5 other topics I didn't even get to reach in the conversation, even about this particular topic. So we'll hit it up again. Bye, Charm City, since you disappeared. She's a business lady. She probably is at the bank. She didn't want y'all to see her coins.
She deposited that big check, girl.
That's right. She's putting that check up. Anyway, thank you, Andre, for coming on. Thanks, Man of Tomorrow. Thanks, I call him the Black James Bond. He's always wearing a suit. And also thanks, Todd Milley. You know, he got a rap cover now with his hair. You know, he get them haircuts. Charm City, you leaving that bank?
I had to disappear. I had to go wrangle some guys that have working at a house, so I had to jump off.
She fired somebody, y'all. She already fired them again. She be firing people. She said wrangle, but you know what she really meant. She fired them. Tell the truth and shame the devil. She done fired another person, y'all. Thank you, Reigning Woman, for the $4.99 super chat. You guys, I'm gonna get some lunch tacos and chill myself, and I will do a part 2 later tonight with some more people who want to come on. So I love y'all. Thank you for your time. This is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I was gonna hold my book up, but I was so hot. Hold on. Thank you for coming on the show. This is Erica Williams of the Classy Climb blog, smartphone millionaire, author, how to invest in real estate, businesses, and people from the palm of your hand. Andre Hatchett, tell the audience bye before I close it out.
Peace out, everybody. In essence, do what needs to get done. If you don't have the people around you, it takes some time, but there are too many people out here right on this friggin' panel in the comment section who you can partner with for emotional support, finances, joint ventures, get some stuff done. And with this recession going on, find some needed stuff, trucking, mobile notary, become a landlord, do whatever the heck you gotta do to get us some needed long-term assets.
Money.
Where you think your job is.
Okay, Charm City buyers. You tell them bye, Charm City, because you're over there firing people. She done already left. Oh, Dre, I think you're muted. But anyway, everybody, this is Erica, Classy Clown Blog. Love you guys. Later.